Hey everybody, welcome back to Parsnips and Parsimony. If you followed me over on either Instagram or Facebook, you have seen that I have been making bagels non-stop. I love a fabulous bagel, and I know my kids do too, and we haven't had bagels in ages. So I guess you could say right now we're sort of overdoing it on bagels because we just love them so much. But you guys asked to see a video on how to make them, and let me tell you, this is so easy to do. Honestly, I don't know why I didn't do it sooner. I was inspired by the King Arthur Isolation Baking Show. I don't know if you follow them on YouTube, but King Arthur has a YouTube channel, and back when COVID hit, he did an isolation baking show, and they did a segment on bagels and donuts, and after watching that I was inspired to trying my own. This is my own recipe inspired by theirs, but I did not have all the special ingredients they had, so I've made this a simple mom's version. I hope you give this recipe a try. Let me know either in the comments or on the community page if you do try this recipe and how they come out for you. For the bagel dough, you're going to need 2 cups of water, 2 1/4 teaspoons of dry yeast, 1/4 cup of sugar, 1 tablespoon of salt, and 5 3/4 to 6 cups of all-purpose flour. As you can see, this recipe is really easy. So there's 2 cups right there, and we'll go ahead and dump that right into your stand mixer. You'll want your water warm and friendly, so think baby bottle-ish temperature, not too hot. Too hot will kill your yeast. I have a 1 1/2 cup measure here, so I'm going to do probably 5 1/2 cups of flour. We'll see how that works. There's 1 1/2, 3, 4 1/2. We're going to put half of this in, and we'll save the rest for seeing how much we actually need. Lastly, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. I always like to add the salt last after the flour, so I'm just going to throw that right there, make a little well, put the salt in there. And then using your dough hook attachment, put that on your stand mixer here, like that. Raise it up. We're going to put this on our first level, just the mixing. And we're going to set the timer for exactly 10 minutes. So your dough should be stiff, not sticky, but not too stiff either. So this is interesting, and it all depends on the hydration of your flour and stuff. This, I might have been able to put a little bit more flour in it. You see, it's a little tacky, but that's okay. That's not, it's not too tacky as I speak. I'm going to put this in an ungreased bowl, like that. Going to cover this just with a plain dish towel. It can be a little damp, it can be dry, it doesn't matter. I'm going to let it rise for 1 hour or until it's doubled. Usually that's on top of my refrigerator. That seems to rise really fast these days. And we'll come back in an hour and I'll show you how to shape these up. So it's been closer to 2 hours since maybe closer to even 3, since I made the bagel dough. First of all, our house is cooler because it's fall and it didn't rise as fast, and also it was lunchtime. So everything is now risen. There it is. So the dough, you can see it's definitely doubled in size. And what we're gonna do next is we're gonna dump this out onto a lightly floured counter, and we're gonna divide this up into 16 equal pieces. I'm going to sprinkle this with a little bit of flour because it's just a little on the tacky side.
Did you see that?
No, did it go?
It went flying. Okay, that's good enough.
Okay.
Can I try kneading the dough?
Well, no, we're not kneading it. We're going to cut it. So we just kind of rounded it up like that. Okay. Okay, now we're going to cut these into 16 equal pieces. So we'll cut these in.
8.
There's half, so that's 8 for each one. bit more flour because it's sticky.
Flour, flour,
Okay.
flour, flour.
Just kind of roll that up on itself. It can sit
Can
there.
I try?
No, no. Go ahead. Just a little bit. Just kind of roll it in on itself. Watch. Watch. You roll it in like that. And then we'll cut this. So how many do I need to cut into this?
8.
8. So just, Lydia, when you're doing it, just kind of turn it in just a little bit. Just enough. Sticky sides in. There you go. See that? Sticky side. There you go. And then flip it over.
And then you do that. Oh,
No.
look what happened.
Yeah, it wasn't quite right, but that's okay. This is a learning curve. No biggie. And then we'll cut these into, let's see, 4 and 4.
Yeah.
If you're really good with sizing, you can go ahead and just pinch off the same amount of dough. I found that with working with the kids, I like to divide it into equal portions so we can talk about fractions and things like that. If you like bigger bagels, you can divide this into 12ths. 16ths work really well for our family, but it just all depends on what you like. Now that we have these all cut, we want to shape them and get them ready to turn into bagels. This is not hard at all. We're gonna put a little flour on our surface, pat them out like that, okay? Pat it out, and then you're just kind of tucking the dough in on itself, just like that. You guys see that? Give it a little roll, and then we're gonna put it up here, and we're gonna do these in a row. It's not hard, just pat them out a little bit, and then you're just turning the dough in on itself. Now the dough's a little sticky today, so I'm having to use a little bit more flour than I normally would, but it's not gonna ruin anything, don't worry. Okay? Go like that. Another one done, line it up, grab another one.
Mine is long.
Oh, yours is a long one. So while Lydia is working on the last of preliminary shaping the bagels, I took a skillet here, and this is about maybe 3 inches deep, and put water in it. You don't have to measure this. If you want to measure the water, it's going to be close to 2 quarts, but I just fill it up so it's about 3/4 full in the pan, and you want to make sure it's deep enough that when you put the bagels in to par bake, they're going to not sink to the bottom and not be able to flow up. You want them to be able to flow. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on and let that start to simmer. Did you finish those?
Yeah.
Awesome, okay.
Now we
and
start
then
rolling them.
in a minute we will. And then to that pan, go ahead, Lydia. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of baking soda.
There we go.
Okay, 1 tablespoon. Whoa! And we need to add 1 tablespoon of sugar. All right, and we'll just let that simmer,
Do you
Lydia.
want me to stir it up?
No, it's fine.
Don't you put salt in?
No, we just do baking soda and sugar. We'll let that simmer while we finish shaping the bagels.
Do you have to wait?
I have all the bagels just laying out here. So what you want to do when you're doing this, you want to start with the one that you did the first. So that's going to be this guy here. We're going to work our way down, then over to here, and then finally finish with these 3. So what you're going to do here is you're going to roll these to about 10 inches.
Yeah.
So 10 inches.
You don't want no more than 10.
Yeah, about 10 inches, and that's a little bit, move your hand, Lydia, just for a second,
You
so
don't
they
want-
can see. That's about how much longer it's going to go than mine. So that's about all you want, and now what do we do, Lydia?
We put them right here.
No. What do we do with them?
Oh, right, we shape.
You have to shape it. Okay, so go ahead, wrap it around your hand. Yep, just like that. Pinch the other end, and then just roll it up against the counter.
They can be hanging if it's...
Yep,
Because you
like
don't
that.
want them
Roll,
fat.
roll, roll until it's all connected.
You don't want it fat.
Right, you don't want it too fat, but you don't want it too thin.
That good?
Let's see, how'd you do? I think that's pretty good. Now I forgot to grease the cooking sheets, so hang on there, kiddo. Let me grease the cooking sheets and we can put them on there.
Can I call him and ask him if I can have it? Because I want to ask him. This one didn't need much rolling that I did. Well, Leah, that's way too big. Whatever. Mommy, is the video on?
It is.
But no sound. Mom's not putting any sound.
Yeah.
You're going to put music. You're going to take off the sound and put music on.
Mm-hmm.
Way big. That's really big.
Yeah, that's right.
Whoa.
There it is. Go ahead and preheat your oven to 425 degrees. We're gonna bring this up to a simmer. So I have it on high right now. I'll lower that temperature once this gets up to that hot level. And then we're gonna start dipping the bagels. All right, so this is just starting to boil. We're gonna turn it down and it's ready to go. What I'm gonna do now is just gently drop these into the water and probably get about 5 or 6 in here. 3, 4, and 5. And I don't know if you can tell, but they've actually sunk down to the bottom. And as they're cooking, they start to float. So I just like to make sure they're not going to stick to the bottom like that. And we're going to do 30 seconds per side. We'll give them a few more seconds. We'll flip those over. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and just gently flip them over like that. You want to be careful you don't splash because that water is really hot. All right, we'll cook that for another 30 seconds. These are really, really so easy. I hope that I'm conveying on this video how easy these are. These are ready to go.
To flip?
Yep, nope, they're ready to pop right out, Lydia. So go ahead and carefully put it on the cookie sheet. Yep, drain it. Yep, there we go. Just be real gentle. There we go. Good job. Drain the water off the spatula a little bit. Remember, light fingers, we don't want to bend the dough, and just gently, gently plop it into the water, gently. There you go, that's 1, 2, and then take the spatula and just kind of unstick them from the bottom. Sometimes they like to stick. Just be real gentle, there you go. And we'll let those cook for 30 seconds, and then we'll flip them. Go ahead and flip those, been 30 seconds, real gentle. Yep, just like that. You're okay. Nope, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's going to splash a little bit. Just be real gentle. There you go. That was better.
Well, I've done it before.
Okay, there. Another 30 seconds.
And then we'll take them out.
Now, earlier I had an egg wash that I used from yesterday's bagel, and that was just 1 egg and about a teaspoon or 2 of water added to it, and just beat up real so it's really smooth, and we're going to use this to put on the bagels once they are done par baking. Okay, so you guys still with me? This is not hard. I don't want you to be intimidated. This is not hard. It's very easy. I mean, you can see Lydia, who's 9 years old, she is able to do this with me with parental supervision. Great activity to do with your kids too. But now I'm going to have Lydia do the egg wash.
And you don't want to get it on the
Right,
pan.
so try to keep it just on the top of the bagels here. It'll be easier to clean the pan later on.
Yeah, when you...
So you can put a little bit more around the edge here, okay? You don't need to necessarily be afraid of it. We just try not to like slobber egg wash everywhere. Okay, that looks good. So let's talk about bagel toppings. Everybody has their favorite. They like plain, poppy seed, sesame seed, or maybe you like everything. I've played around with different combinations of spices that I have. Right now, the one I'm going to be using is actually one of you guys sent this to me, and it's called Everything Bagel Seasoning, not sponsored. This is from Aldi. I have not found it at my Aldi, but one of my viewers went ahead and said they had this with their, it's in the spice department if you're looking for this, and this is so delicious. So we're going to be sprinkling that on the bagels today. If you'd like to keep them plain, you certainly could do that, or do any toppings of your choice, but today we're going to be doing the Everything Bagel Seasoning. If you'd like this bagel recipe, go ahead and in the description you'll find a link for the printable recipe. You'll see how easy this is.
And fun.
And fun with kids too. Okay, so while you're doing that, I'm just going to start sprinkling on.
Can I sprinkle on some of them?
You want to do one
wanna
tray?
trade?
I'll do one tray and you do one tray. How's that sound? All right, you want to finish? I'll paint. I'll put the eggs on and you can do this?
Sure.
All right. Sounds like a good deal to me.
These look good.
They look really good, Lydia.
A lot of stuff.
Yummy. Okay, are we ready to put them in the oven? Are you brave?
Sure, I'll try it again.
Okay, here we go. Okay, we're gonna do them the long way in. Put one on that side or this side. Okay, and go get the other one. There we go. That's one.
This one will be a little hard.
Just put that one in just like that. There we go.
We can put them in the cook.
Cook them for 20 to 25 minutes until they're nice and golden brown. And while those are cooking, I'm just gonna clean up the kitchen and we'll be back in 20 minutes. All right, there we go. 20 minutes are up. Let's check the bagels. Ooh, whoopsies. Sorry, folks. They are definitely done today. Ooh, look at those. There we go.
I want that one basically flying. Yum.
They are all done, and we're just gonna let these cool. Once they're cool, you can either A, eat them all, or you can store these for later in a plastic bag. Don't put these in when they're warm, otherwise the moisture builds up, and that's not so good. Just let them cool, and then eat them. They are so delicious. I mean, oh, I wish you guys could smell these. We need to create smell-o-vision. Don't they smell good? They smell really good. Yeah.
With the seasoning, it's even.
Oh, yummy. All right, folks, so that concludes my bagel tutorial. I hope I've inspired you to at least give it a try. And the first time, they might not turn out perfectly round. You might roll them too long. Don't worry about it. The first time, they're still as tasty. They might be misshapen, but go for it. Have fun. Try something new this fall. Let me know if you did try it over on the community page. Share your pictures. And thanks so much for watching. Please be sure to share this video, subscribe. We'll see you for our next video. Bye. Gotcha.